Boo! How's it going, guys? I'm just here hanging out in the rain and enjoying the nature, just the calmness, the natural noise of life. And I was just thinking of a story and thought I'd share for anyone that is interested. I think it's pretty cool, pretty unique. But during my 5.5 years of travel, where, I haven't touched into that really on the channel very much, I don't think. But I basically sold everything I owned and traveled the world and trying to get on spiritual insight, trying to understand myself, trying to understand the world a bit better, brought on by many things. But that's not the point of this story. The point of this story is another story. And that story is, I was in the mountains of Peru. It's boggling my mind right now, or it's not in my mind right now, the exact place, but I was hiking the Alpamayo trail. And I believe the highest it gets is 18,000 feet. And I had done the John Muir Trail at some point, which is in California. It's like a 550 kilometer trail, I believe. And, I had pretty good success with that and felt really good. And I had been doing a ton of trails and backcountry camping throughout my travels. And I felt like I could do it. So there was a 3-day trail in the Alpamayo, and then there's a 10-day trail. And the 10-day trail, when I was talking to people in the city, they're like, oh, you got to go with a guide. Like, it's really hard. And I was like, you know what? I can do this. I trust my intuition, or I don't know what I was trusting. I think I was still feeling like I was Superman. And anyhow, at this time in my life, I'm fearless for the most part, and still haven't been humbled enough by life. And so I went out on this beautiful adventure, and I'll tell you right now, the first 3 days were absolutely incredible. Something that I can't even put into expression or words, other than it was a pivotal experience in my heart, because I was so alone, and it was so jaw-droppingly beautiful. And it was really cool to see like little small communities that live deep in the mountains there. But one of the experiences I had, and it's raining, and this is kind of what brought it on to me, is I was at the top of this trail, the peak of the top of where this trail goes to. And I think it was around, I don't want to go too high, so like maybe 16,000 feet, somewhere around there, maybe 17. And it started, and this is kind of veering on nighttime, and I'm just climbing to the top and pushing hard. And when you're high up, weather changes fast. And when you are around mountains, you can't really see what the weather pattern is going to be. And maybe you can if you've lived there long enough, you can understand. But for me, obviously, do not understand. And as I was kind of going up and I was about to go down, it started hailing, like thundering, lightning, just pouring rain. Like, I mean, pouring. To the point where all the trails, if you will, were all flooded. And everything became a raging river. So down there you see a nice raging river. The trail wasn't that extreme in the sense of how much water, but it was that extreme in the sense of how fast it was moving. I had my backpack on, it's freezing cold, there's snow-capped mountains where I'm standing, and I slip and fall, all my stuff gets soaked. It's nighttime now, and there's nowhere to put my tent. With what's of it, and I am just in pure survival mode, and it's so treacherous. I can't even fully remember, because I was in such a panic, and in a panic I mean not like I was in a panic to do what in my mind was the next best thing to do. I was like, I have to find a campsite, I have to find somewhere to put my tent, because it was all rocks at the top. And so anyways, I set up. I don't even know where I set up, because it was at night. And I just remember being soaking wet, freezing cold, like so cold, nothing's dry almost. Like I think there might have been a few things that were dry that I put on. And then I just started eating. I ate probably like a day's worth of food because I was just in survival mode, and that just made me want to eat. And of course, I don't know if I was even starving, to be honest with you, because there was so much adrenaline. I think it was more of just survival. That's the only word that's coming to my mind right now. And long story short, I wake up the next morning, I go outside, I didn't even know where I was set up, and there was like 30 cows surrounding my tent. It was hilarious. Kind of nerve-wracking too, because these are not cows that are like people's cows. These are just like literally wild cows. And what an adrenaline rush, and what an experience. And I was alone, and I'm in a country where I have no idea what I'm doing, and it was unbelievable. And that was such an insanely peak experience in terms of it will be imprinted in my body for a very long time. I'm grateful that I'm out of it, but boy, oh boy, was it insane. And there's actually another story, a part of that. Maybe I'll make that a part 2 if anyone wants to hear it, where I almost died. What I consider almost dying. You can be the judge of it if I make the video. But man, oh man, was it intense. And I actually have it written down in a journal. So I was carrying a journal throughout this time. And that's really how I'm getting a bit more of the memories, is because I was writing. And I really think that's super powerful, because I didn't have a phone. So I didn't have any sort of communication to communicate with anyone. I had dropped my phone in water and didn't want to get another phone. So here I am, phoneless. And anyhow, I couldn't take pictures. I couldn't take videos. I was like, oh, I'll just let it be my experience. But anyways, looking back, that's one thing I wish I did on my 5.5 years of travel, is that I was a bit more... I wish I took more pictures. I wish I took videos. This is back in 2015, so if I was in a different space, if I was in the space that I was in, if I was 27 now, I think I would be doing such different things. It's kind of funny, just because of the landscape of internet and social media and stuff like that. Maybe I might have been a bit more influenced to track things, but nonetheless, hope the experiences are somewhat on paper, and then also within me. Some of them a bit more than others, but anyways, I just thought I'd share. I know I'm long-winded. I could probably get better at not being so blabbing and using misuse of words, but that's just who I am at this moment. So anyways, hope you enjoyed if you listened to that, and thank you for listening to me, I guess.